You know, of all people, I probably should not be responding to Brett Keane. But you know what? He saw fit to insult me in one of his videos a little while ago, and I figure it's time to get some of my own back. Oh, I don't plan to insult him directly, but he'll probably feel insulted when I show how chowder-headed he's being. So let's do this.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. This is Brett Keane. Today we're going to discuss a topic that's rolled around for years on YouTube. People making video after video, including myself, trying to defend the definition of atheist, one who lacks a belief in deities.
But you see, Brett, that is what an atheist is. It's one who does not believe in gods. But if you don't like that word, well, give me another one. Or, better still, attach an adjective to the front of atheist to explain what kind of atheist you are. Hard atheist, soft atheist, implicit atheist, explicit atheist. That gets the job done, it gives you the nuance we need, and it doesn't fuck around with the definition of atheist.
Now, you'll hear atheists say that that's a position of no belief, that you lack a belief in deities, so it's not like a Christian church or the Muslim belief where you actually believe in something. But that is incorrect.
No, it really isn't incorrect. But let's hear your reasoning first before I explain why it's wrong.
I've thought about this for a very long time. I've come to the understanding that atheism is, in true fact, the position that atheists believe that they know more than millions of Christians around the planet.
No. That's not what atheism is, and that's not how atheists think. It's not that we know more. It's that religious people have proved less. I mean, take, for example, a scientist. If a scientist says, look, I've broken the light speed barrier, we can travel to other stars, and then proceeds not to prove it, not to provide any evidence, but instead demands faith of us that we just believe them without any of that proof, we'd tell them they're full of shit. And it's the same thing with religion. They claim there's a God. They claim that all of this stuff has happened. Magic, saviors, whatever, the creation of the world, everything like that. And they proceed to not prove any of it with evidence. And extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence. So it's not that we know more. It's that they've proved less.
They also believe that they are more intelligent and know more than Muslims.
I don't understand why you're singling out Muslims here, but that's kind of beside the point. The fact is that no, atheists don't necessarily consider ourselves more intelligent. You see, there are some very intelligent people out there who nonetheless believe in gods. It's possible to compartmentalize your beliefs, or to engage in wishful thinking, or lots of various other reasons why you might believe something that is otherwise chowder-headed. It happens. So are atheists necessarily more intelligent, or do we think ourselves more intelligent? Well, maybe a little bit, because it does seem like gullibility to believe in something on no evidence, but not necessarily.
Millions of Muslims who believe in a Quran, who believe that the Quran is the word of their particular God.
Aha, but you see, the operative word here is believe. They don't know that their God is real, and they don't know that their holy book is the word of that God. They just believe it, on faith. And that is not a way to know something. If you want to know something, you're going to need evidence, empirical, objective evidence. And to that evidence, you must apply critical and skeptical thinking. So, do we know more than Muslims? Not necessarily, but we do know better.
Atheists also believe, convinced without a doubt, that they are more intelligent and understand more about the universe than the pagans who have existed for thousands of years before Christianity and the Muslim religion even existed.
Tell me, Brett, are you psychic? Because if you're not, you are not qualified to speak for every atheist and how we think. Granted, there are probably some atheists who are that arrogant, but not all of us. Oh, and as to the pagans, they haven't proved it any more than the Christians or the Muslims.
That to me sounds like a pretty strong belief system. to believe that your ideologies and your understanding is more than that of people that have been around since the beginning who have believed in this.
You're right, Brett. That does sound like a hell of a belief system. But what it doesn't sound like is atheism. For one thing, atheism doesn't have ideologies. And as I've been saying, atheism doesn't claim to know anything. The single, solitary requirement to be an atheist is to believe in zero gods. That's it. And the reason a lot of us don't believe in any gods is, as I've been saying, because the religious have failed to prove their case with logic, reason, and evidence. So it's not a belief system, it's a lack of a belief system. And we lack that belief system because we're not so gullible as to take people's word for something so amazing without evidence. That's all there is to it.
Now the interesting thing is that atheism has existed just as long as religious beliefs. It just didn't have the name.
And you would rather play word games rather than accept what atheism actually means. You see, when the word theist is negated by the syllable A, it means not a theist. That's all it means. And you would rather reject it because of what society has decided atheism means. It's kind of like when Neil deGrasse Tyson refused the label of atheist. He didn't do so because the word was inaccurate. He did it because of what society has decided about that word. I lost a lot of respect for that man, and if I had had any respect for you, I'd be losing it now too.
Most people would just refer to someone as godless, or someone who didn't believe in gods. And that's as simple as that.
Like I said, word games.
But it is a belief system. Because when you tell people that their faith is empty and it's hollow, you tell people that their God doesn't exist, when millions of them claim that they've been healed, when millions of them have claimed throughout time that they've had God interact in their life, either through signs or an audible voice or manifestation, you're telling every religion in the world from beginning to end that you know more than everybody.
Wrong. You said it yourself. These people are claiming something. They're not proving it. They're employing faith, not evidence. They believe. They don't know. And I'm not claiming to know more than they do. All I'm saying is that I employ skeptical reasoning, critical thinking. And I reach the conclusion that a God does not exist due to the lack of evidence. Extraordinary claims require extraordinary evidence, and these religious people are making one hell of a claim. So, not believing in God is actually a conclusion based on logic, reason, and evidence. And if atheism has an ideology, it's that. It's not a belief system. It's actually a conclusion, a side effect of that kind of thinking. That's all it is.
Now, I'm more than happy to approve videos. If there's any atheist out there who can tell me differently, that you don't believe that you're smarter than everybody and believe that your way of thinking is more intelligent than everybody else, go ahead.
Well, then I guess you're not going to be approving this video response. Because you know what? My IQ is 133, which is not only 1 point more than you need to join Mensa, but it is pretty much smarter than a lot of the population. But I try not to lord it over people, because, hey, that's rude. But even so, my method of thinking is better, is smarter than using faith. You see, logical, critical, skeptical thinking will always trump faith. Don't run on automatic. Instead, please, think.
I'm willing to say that I don't know everything. I'm willing to say that there's a probability that there might be something in the universe. I don't have any evidence for it. I lack a belief in deities.
Well, good, because I don't claim to know everything either. And I'm willing to concede the possibility of there being something in the universe, as you put it, even a God. But I'm not willing to believe on faith. I require evidence, and there is none for a God. That's all there is to it.
I refer to myself as a non-believer. I refer to myself as a rational free thinker. But I'm not going to sit here and claim to know more than everybody else. I'm not going to sit here and stomp my foot and start insulting religious people nonstop.
Oh, you're so fair-minded. But you know what? A lot of us don't insult religious people nonstop. They may take it as an insult when we point out the flaws in their arguments, but that's different from actually insulting people. Hell, you'll probably feel insulted the way I've pointed out the flaws in your arguments. But you know what? I haven't actually insulted you. Not really.
You'll hear me crack jokes. I'll make silly-ass videos about how Christian churches are like McDonald's and shit and give references of cheeseburgers and fries.
But you're not, insulting anybody.
So, what do you think? What do you think about that? Do you know more than everybody else? Is everybody else wrong but you?
Well, I know you're wrong. The entire premise of this video is wrong. How's that?
If you ask people, do they know who Brett Keane is? Well, shit. Just type my name in the search engines. I'm all over the place. Type me in Google. If everybody doesn't know me by now, then shit.
But you're not, full of yourself or anything. Not the way you claim atheists are. Nah, couldn't be. Until next time, fellow space travelers, this is BionicDance saying, heck, I already said it. Don't run on automatic. Instead, please think. Please take the time to rate this video. And hey, if you dig what I do, subscribe. And please visit my Zazzle store, where you'll find all kinds of BionicDance merchandise. If you don't like what I'm saying, there's a good chance you're the reason I'm saying it.